Hey, what's going on, comic book community? Now, I finally managed to catch up watching a couple of your guys' video, and I happened to stumble across Beauty Comics. And I guess he's the one to start this year's roundup of the top 50 comic books in your collection. And I gotta say that I am impressed with a lot of your guys' top 50 books. And if you managed to watch mine from last year, it's not really going to change all that much, but you can see how much a collection can change in like a year's time, since I managed to pick up a couple of bigger key issue books, and just here to find out what books I managed to add to my collection. So let's just get right into it. And first, I just want to start off with the Spawn #1. This isn't like the most, sought after collectible books, but it's just something just to start off this collection, and it's in pretty decent high grade. Next up is Spot number 174. I guess it's now debated the first full issue dedicated to the gunslinger Spawn, and that's kind of like one of the things with my collection is that I guess from a valuable or a value sort of mindset is that some of it did tend to lose because issues preceding others have just taken more of a life of its own, and this one kind of got affected with it. Next up is from the 2011 series, the 1 in 25, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1. And from the Image series, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #22, the first appearance of the Lady Shredder. Then it's the issue following that, the very hard to find final issue #23, Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #6, the first full appearance of Leatherhead. This one kind of seemed to have gone down in value, but it's still a nice book to have, considering at this point the first series #1 is gonna cost you an arm and a leg even for a third printing. So I might as well pick up Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventures #1. Like, I'm glad to have this, but I kind of wish I could get my hands on a newsstand copy. And next is the Men in Black #1, the book that issued the movie series. And this is one of the first books to change, and it's the Electric Tales of Pikachu #1. I guess now it's the first full-size comic appearance of Pokemon, which apparently now it's the little VHS, like the 5x8 mini comic that was included in that is now the more sought after book. And the holiday just passed, and if you managed to see my review on it, not the best, but I still liked it. But this is the first appearance of Michael Myers in comics, Halloween #1. I guess before the actual movie came out, this book could easily fetch like $100, but as a horror fan, this can't leave my collection. Next up is the 1 in 10 Friday the 13th #1, the Kane Hodder from Part 8 variant. Next up is Nightmares on Elm Street #1 from the Innovation series. Now, this is kind of collectible, but as of late, I've been trying to go after the Marvel Comics version of it, which is more like a magazine size. And to me, that's starting to look a little bit more something that I would rather have and replace this copy with. And I guess up next is the variant portion of this video. It's the Harley Quinn Special Edition #1, the Margot Robbie variant cover. It's a Mexico exclusive. Wonder Woman number 31, the movie foil variant. Aquaman number 28, foil variant. And this guy just got announced to be returning. Batman number 32, the Ben Affleck foil variant. And for me personally, the Zack Snyder version of the movie just blew the Joss Whedon version. And it's kind of debatable because this poster was used to advertise the 2017 movie, but I still want it because it reminds me of what the film was supposed to be originally, along with these. Justice League number 21, the Alamo City movie variant. And then this is a Justice League of America number 15. And Wonder Woman number 26, a foil variant. Um, Apparently not a lot of people, based on the box office, managed to watch Black Adam. But for those that did know what this kind of means, and this is Superman number 50, the WonderCon exclusive variant. And then just kind of round that off is Batman number 50, the armored Batman variant. And speaking of Black Adam, the next up is Shazam number 28, the second appearance of Black Adam. At this point, you're better off just getting this book instead of Marvel Family number 1, which, these days you have a better chance of winning the lottery than picking that book up. Next up is Saga of the Swamp Thing number 37, the first full appearance of Sean Constantine, which a couple of issues before that, and then I think it's DC Sampler number 3. It's now those are sought after, and that's kind of like one of the things that kind of like bothers me is that nowadays it's like preview appearances and cameos. The one of the biggest debated ones is Wolverine with it, Hulk 180, Hulk 181. Before that, it was some filler issue that happened to have a preview of Hulk 180, and now that's picking up steam. It's like, at this point, like for me, I'm just picking up the books that I want. It's Swamp Thing number 1. And this is another of the most recent pickups that I managed to get this year. All-Star Westerns number 10, the first appearance of Jonah Hex in comics. Detective Comics number 236. I guess the first official Silver Age Detective Comics in the run. And not too far behind that is number 359, the first appearance of Barbara Gordon as Batgirl. It's kind of sad that the movie got canceled, but the way things are heading, I think I'd rather that movie be canceled than to not be able to have Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill back. Batman number 171, the first Silver Age appearance of the Riddler. I mean, people are actually debating what's the best comic book movie of the year, The Batman or Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I can't really speak on that because I haven't seen Black Panther yet. Batman number 189, the first Silver Age appearance of the Scarecrow. This is a upgrade for me this year. Next up is Batman number 232, the first appearance of Ra's al Ghul. Well, one thing for me is that issue number 232, this issue in particular, is defined as ushering in the Bronze Age in Batman comics. However, not 2 issues later, the first Silver Age, Two-Face in 234 is still considered the Silver Age, which that's kind of like confusing a little bit, but I guess sometimes you just gotta go with the community on that one. Next up is an upgrade for me. Batman Vengeance of Bane, #1, the first appearance of Bane. I kind of heard the news yesterday, and I was kind of saddened, because he's one of the guys that kind of defined my childhood. I remember coming home from school like every week, and then like my folks, and then sometimes when I'd have a babysitter, they would like come outside to get me and tell me, "Hey, the Batman animated cartoon is on, just so you know." And this one's kind of dedicated to him. At that a con a couple of years ago, like he was actually there, but I arrived like so late that I never actually got a chance to get anything autographed. But this is kind of like in honor of him. Hopefully, they can find a way to spin off the Flash movie and give him his own series, but it'd be honoring more Michael Keaton than Kevin Conroy. But Batman Beyond #1. This is a newsstand variant. Pretty hard to come by, apparently. It's in the 90s. And anything is possible now. This character could show up again. Maybe if the moon turns blue or something. It's the new Teen Titans #2, the first appearance of Deathstroke. Well, one final variant is Batman number 679, the Zer NR variant, Tony Daniel. No. Most people consider Star Wars nowadays to be kind of a dead brand, as they don't know where they're really going from here. But these next two issues are still a must-have for your collections. Star Wars #42. I guess now it's debated the first full appearance of Boba Fett in Standard Comics. And number 68, the first appearance of Finn Scheisse. And with Marvel, the MCU in particular, is now trying to adapt the Netflix shows. This is a character that could possibly return one day too. It's the Punisher. His first ongoing, or first official series on his own. I guess after Harrison Ford finally hangs up the hat and whip in Indiana Jones, if and when that movie comes out, he's apparently scheduled to replace the original actor Thunderbolt Ross. So it's Hulk #1, like the first cover appearance of the Red Hulk, which now is said to be the first full appearances in issue 2. And then after what's happened in that Miss Marvel show and the previews for Black Panther Wakanda Forever, it's like they're finally starting to form the Young Avengers. And I'd be lying to you guys if I've been saying that I've been keeping up with most of the TV shows nowadays. And that'd be like an outright lie, because I guess me personally, I am kind of suffering from superhero fatigue, but that's mostly on Disney. It's like they just put out so much content. It's like I'm already busy enough as it is. Like I can't devote 8 to 10 hours just watching a TV show. And regarding She-Hulk, what I've heard, it was a really terrible show, and I wouldn't doubt it, as I couldn't even get past episode 2. So next up is X Factor #6, the first full appearance of the Apocalypse, and that happens to be an autographed copy, a newsstand. Next up is one of my favorite X-Men characters, Gambit, X-Men #266. And this is a big book that I happened to pick up on my last haul at a really good steal. And I'm kind of glad that I finally own this. And that's Spider-Man #300, the first full appearance of Venom. Next up is Amazing Spider-Man Volume Whatever number 4, the first full appearance of Cindy Moon Silk. That happens to be autographed by Humberto Ramos. And then just to round things off, it's New Mutants 98, newsstand copy. I actually managed to run into an 87 out in the wild, but seeing as how I blew my load on that Spider-Man 300, I just couldn't afford it. And this is still in the Polybag Ultimate Fallout number 4, first Miles Morales, with the second movie just right around the corner. And then she's going to be in it as well. Edge of Spider-Verse number 2, the first appearance of her. Now, this is one of the bigger issues that I managed to find. One of my favorite characters, Marvel vs. Capcom series, X-Men number 14, the first appearance of the Sentinels. And then just to round things off, one of the first appearances earliest Spider-Man issues of the Shocker, Amazing Spider-Man number 46. So yeah, guys, that's how much my collection has changed from last year. And just let me know if you guys found this entertaining. All right, take it easy.